part 2. I'm not sure I've done part 2 before, but in case you've missed part 1, go back and listen to part 1 of the end of season review. This is Beyond the Racing Line. My name's Roger Byron. I'm joined by Tristan Pocock and Sam.
Hello. The reserve driver.
Sam, the reserve driver. I don't mind it. We've in part 1 we went through every driver. We went through our driver of the year, thanks to Sam and his tellings, and that of the day. Now we're going to get into some of the bigger questions. But before we get there, F1.5 this year.
F1.5. We left it hanging because I forgot to do it, and then we decided to leave it hanging, which made sense to everyone anyway. So
because everyone knew what it was.
Everyone knew what was going on.
We like to pretend that we
don't
didn't
hide
know.
it. But anyway, all right. So we ended up with 12 drivers in the end. Because I was able to massage in Jack Dillon for those
people who've joined us for the first time, which would be unusual in part B of the end of season review.
Absolutely, and you've just stumbled across us.
Welcome,
and
you are now a Yondi.
We look forward to having you for this season. But if you are new, that worries me. If you are new, it's a strange time.
I'm excited. I'm excited for your roller coaster ride.
It is a strange time to be new. F1.5 takes out the key drivers who are scoring consistently at the top end, for example.
Mainly because of machinery.
Max Verstappen is not in it because he is a star, so he doesn't need to be in it.
He's in one of the fastest
cars. And this gives all those people underneath him an opportunity to be the world champion at something, because they're all just sort of thereabouts and kind of wish that Ferrari and Mercedes and McLaren and Red Bull didn't exist. So anyway, that's how it works, and we take it out and we go from 10th or however many, because it fluctuates in and out every year. There's no right or wrong answer, just my answer. And we work our way down and score points based on that.
And what you find is, and it annoys me a little bit
because it's correct.
Because Tristan, this is Tristan's baby, but it is a really great form guide.
Absolutely.
Because if all the top 8 drivers score their points, the points that they should score, what you find... Do we have 5? No, we had 10 drivers. No?
Yeah.
Was Alonso in this?
No. We had 10. We had 10 this year for the first time.
Yeah, so we had 10 drivers removed.
Even Stroll, just in case if Stroll won the
in case he actually decided to score points.
Oh, yeah.
But what you find is if you remove the drivers that always score the points, you actually find out how the rest of the drivers perform, because we don't see that with their points, because in Formula 1, you don't get points below 10th. Yeah. And so it is a great reflection of drivers throughout the year. So hit us up.
All right, I'm going to go last to first.
Yes, well done.
Let's go Jack Doohan in 12th place, who in his only outing for this year scored 8 points.
Hey.
So that's actually quite good. Sargent left us mid-year, 65 points with Sargent's finishing points on there, so that's not sort of where he is, but that's what he finished on. So it gives you a little bit of an indication that if you were less than 65, depending on how many races you were given throughout the year, whatever. So, 8 for Doohan in 12th place. Lawson finished the year on 53 points in his 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 outings. 53 points for Lawson in 11th place. In 10th place was Franco Colapinto on 89 points.
How many outings?
Fire. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
So only one more outing than Lawson.
Only one more outing than Lawson.
In a Williams.
In an absolute piece of garbage. So, and that's it. You're like, God damn it.
It explains a little bit,
It explains a lot. It does. It explains a lot. So 10th place for Colapinto. In 9th place, and this is where we jump into the triple figures. In 9th place, which sounds a lot better than what it is Valtteri Bottas on 140 points, which is 9th place. So just consistently scored. I mean, he scored every round, which everyone did. But he was sort of the back end of the season. 8-4, 8-10, 4 was actually pretty good for Valtteri. So that was kind of saved him. Mm-hmm. In 8th place was Zhou Guan Yu on 148 points.
Where he's Zhou?
Yeah, where he's Zhou. He's gone now. He's gone. Where's he showing? I don't know. Don't care.
Formula E.
Yep. Apparently.
Is it? Okay.
Don't know, I don't watch it.
Bad luck.
148 points for Zhou, so he's gone there. And he was in 8th place. In 7th place, Daniel Ricciardo, who did not show face in the final 4 races of the year because he was sacked. 211 points in 7th place. So that kind of shows you that, he's doing pretty good. Had a race win and a second, 2 seconds, and a third. Because we give podiums in F1.5. So 2 thirds, actually. So there you go. So, 211, 7th place. In 6th place, only 8 points ahead of him is Alex Albon on 219 points.
Pretty decent.
Yeah.
For a Williams.
Yeah, a man that didn't compete in the last month of Formula 1. And he only beat him by 8 points. Fifth place. The sort of could have been tale of the year is Kevin Magnussen in fifth place on 234 points. Equal.
How much different on Albon?
What's that? 20, 14, 15 points. 15
Albon's
points.
Had an okay year, hasn't he?
No, not really. And equaling with K-Mag is Pierre Gasly on 234 points. And he finished in fourth. And I've given him fourth, even though he's on equal points with K-Mag, because he has race wins. And K-Mag does not.
I like it.
So that's why he finishes in fourth place on 234 points there. Third place. There's only 3 left. Third place. Esteban Ocon. Pinched third place.
Over Gasly?
Over Gasly by just 6.
What?
Just 6 points. Pinched it. And he gets...
That is mind-boggling.
Yeah, he gets 240 points.
Have you fucked this up?
No, I have not.
You might have.
I haven't. And he gets...
Do I have to run the numbers for Tristan?
No, you don't. He pinched it in the last one because Gasly's final race. These are the last. This is the last 2 outings. Is that Ocon had a 25 point and won. Gasly had an 18, and then in the last race, Ocon pinched 6 and Gasly pinched 1. So, 240 and 230. It was enough. They were pretty neck and neck most of the season all the way through. So that was where it finished.
Wait, how many points do you reckon Gasly got in the last race?
1.
But he finished 7th.
7th? Yes, that's where the last race, because Doohan was in there, and then Ricciardo's out.
No, but
then
he finished 7th.
Ocon was out there too.
I think your math's wrong.
I haven't mathed that wrong. That is correct.
No, but he got 6 championship
7th.
points.
I'll have to go back and look at that, but I don't think that's correct.
I'm bringing into question.
I don't think that's correct. I'll have a look there. Let me double check here, unless I've put them the wrong way around.
I think you have.
I could have just put them the wrong way around, which is... Let me have a look here.
Where is Ocon?
Where did Ocon fit? No, Ocon didn't race. Doohan raced.
In the final
the
round.
last round.
Yep, correct.
I have to. My apologies. I've just put them around the wrong way. Hold fire here.
Good
so Gasly
Lord.
finishes in 6th. There you go. That's the excitement.
Oh, look. The computer allows you to quickly manipulate those numbers.
That's the excitement of the final round. Look at that.
And so where does Gasly finish
now? So Gasly finishes 3rd then. Sorry, my apologies. There you go. Gasly finishes 3rd. In 2nd place is Yuki Tsunoda on 277 points. The man who was not considered for Red Bull.
He was in front of this for a long time.
He was in 2nd. No, he was in 2nd place.
He never made it to the front.
He didn't. He made it to the lead. In round 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Round 10, he led. Round 10, and it was the first time that Hülkenberg had not led.
Yep.
And we thought it was on for young and old, and then from there it was pretty close. But
Yes.
Hulk came home with an absolute flurry. Who is our F1.5 champion for the year? 356
Wowee.
points. So it's actually quite a lot in the end.
The man hasn't got a podium.
No, because the last month for Hülkenberg is really what steeled it. Because he did have that really down period where he had 2s and 4s and stuff like that for about a month.
We had some questions, didn't we?
Yeah, but then in the last month he just went bang and went win, 2nd. Then he had a 2, and then he won again. So he won 3 of the last 5 and 2nd. So it could have been 4 out of 5 that he won. He just had that off weekend at the end. But anyway, it didn't really matter because, he finishes up on 356. So he is our
incredible
F1.5 champion and thoroughly deserved. And well done to Yuki for finishing 2nd. And Gasly, my apologies, who was 3rd in the end there. So well done to our top 3. And that's it. That is F1.5 for this year.
I wonder who's going to be in it next year.
Oh, we always ask this question.
We do.
We always... I'll let you know.
I think it's fairly clear 4 will be out of it. The big question is, can anyone step out of it as well?
Yeah, or is it just going to be this lot again? Yeah, we're going to have
Aston Martin.
We'll have some new faces in there, maybe. I don't know. Yeah.
It's going to be an interesting one.
I don't know. It's going to be really good. Anyway, as always, you'll know round 5. I like to give us 5 weeks to work it out and then retrospectively go back and, take those points out anyway. So that's it. That's F1.5 for the year.
It's fascinating.
Fascinating.
It's a fascinating world. What are you trying to conjure up over there?
I was about to say 5th round is Saudi Arabia, or are you going to leave until the European season?
No, I think just 5's enough. You know after 5 who's in it and who's not out.
So after the 5th, so the 6th round?
6th round will be ready to go. You'll know who's in it. Because I'll go back. We'll retrospectively work them out. And
because it's a Spanish podcast, like you need to fill the air after the Spanish Grand Prix, so... Yeah.
It's a butterfly.
It's a strange time for a butterfly to be kicking around, isn't it?
I thought it was a moth.
There you go. Radio, let's get into some big questions.
All right, go.
I'll always like the big questions for the season. What was your favourite win for the season?
Oh.
Sam, you go first. Or have you not got one?
Win of the season?
So a couple come to mind.
Yep.
I mean, Hamilton's was pretty good.
Yep.
Leclerc's.
Yep.
In Monaco and in Monza.
Yep.
Sainz had a couple of good ones. I mean, we saw firsthand the Sainz in Australia, and we're in the thick of the celebrations.
Yep.
And then his Mexican win was pretty good.
I'm going to give you my top 3. So 3rd place, Azerbaijan, Oscar Piastri.
Correct.
Awesome. Tick.
But see, the thing with that is we forget that we had the big coming together with Sainz and Perez in that race, didn't we?
Yep, we did.
And so there was a lot going on in that race, and he had to control all those things.
Absolutely.
And it was like the win we needed. So what was that? That was the 3rd.
That was 3rd place.
I'm not sure you're allowed. No,
I'm allowed to. It's okay. You said we're allowed to do whatever. You said off air. You literally said to Sam, and said, Sam, do whatever you like. I couldn't care less. Those literally the words that came out of your mouth. I'm just saying. That's what you're saying. Continue 3rd place. 2nd place is Lewis in Silverstone. Awesome. Unexpected, and the
unexpected for us to love that win.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like we really loved that win.
I know. I think everyone did. And the win of the season, the win of the season was Max's win in Brazil. That was the win of the season. That was a foot down. You're not having this. This is mine. Awesome. Just one of his best win. His best win. Yeah, it really was. So that's my top 3. Yep. Honourable mention to Charles.
Closed down the season.
Closed it down. Shut it down in a big way. Honourable mention to Charles because winning at home is a hard thing to do. And that's it.
You've taken them all.
Well, that's
Sam, over to you.
Pretty much all the honourable mentions I had on because I'm a fan. No, but I'm gonna flip the script and say 2nd place. Leclerc in Monaco, like you look at his track record from the previous years, DNSing, just having absolutely appalling times, time after time, like the curse of Monaco. You think this is not going to be the year. This is the year that McLaren and Red Bull are going neck and neck, and you bloody write a fairy tale on live television. The Monegasque announcer, tearing up, crying, announcing his last lap as he's going around. 2nd place, but I cannot deny Max, that Brazilian. I was up watching that live. It was just one of those phenomenal things that you can only see. You're witnessing it live. You're seeing one of the greatest moments, probably in Formula 1 for a very long time.
Okay, yeah.
There are probably better moments in the past, but for a long time, if you think about wins recently.
Yep.
The Max win in Brazil, just to come back through the rain, just atrocious conditions, changing conditions, constantly changing tyres. And then within that race as well, you've also got the French doing great things with boats as well. You had that going on in the background, but you still had Max winning it, and that is the highlight. Holy crap, that's good. But they're still 3rd place, Piastri and Baku, the Street Fighter. That was great.
I love seeing that part of Piastri. I do love seeing that part of Piastri. Good wins. I loved there's 2 Ferrari wins for me. Leclerc in Monaco. I just loved it. It's just I like Monaco. I don't care what anyone else says. I really enjoy Monaco, and he hasn't had success there so far. He came into the wall in qualifying and then couldn't start the race when he was on pole. And the backstory is like when Ricciardo won Monaco eventually. So I really enjoyed that one. But my favourite, seeing we're going with 2, my favourite win was Sainz in Melbourne.
Yeah, cool.
For me, there's a few parts of that. It was the appendicitis, coming over the appendicitis. He wasn't sure if he was even going to be able to race. He had to work out how to put his seatbelt on. He was the first few turns, he didn't think he was going to be able to continue on for the weekend. He works his way through that.
Yeah.
We've seen Red Bull dominating. No issues, but they've dominated, and then they have the failure, and then Perez can't get the job done.
Yep.
And so it was a celebration, and it was a Sainz stepping up into the big moment, and then bloody oath it helped that I was there,
absolutely,
watching them spray the champagne,
absolutely,
in the paddock. It was just a wonderful moment. I think everyone, like we sit in the media centre through practice sessions and stuff like that in Australia, and it's a dead zone, but everyone was excited. It had an atmosphere.
I was under the podium.
The media, but throughout the race, the media centre actually had an atmosphere for once.
Buzz,
because of all of this, and so it was just a emotional win. I really, really enjoyed it. So for me, Science was my favourite win for the year.
Good. To go to the fans.
Yes.
Yep. We'll go with Nat Pollard, first place, Max in Brazil. Second place, Lewis in Silverstone, and then she gave Oscar in Baku and Charles in Monaco equal third. Thanks, Dean Holt. First place, Silverstone with Hamilton. Second place, Oscar with Baku. Third place, Norris with Miami. Thoughts on
I liked
that?
it. That was the breaker. It was the breaker. It was like hang on.
Yeah.
Red Bull's dominated. They haven't won everything, but geez, they've dominated everything, whereas this is a race that's sort of... It's been brought back to him, so I quite liked it. And it was his first race. It was his first win.
Yep, absolutely. Got to get the monkey off the back. And then Adam Hughes, here we go. First place, Max in Brazil. Second place, Oscar in Baku. Third place, Charles in Monaco. Thanks, Adam.
None of those wrong answers.
None of those wrong answers from Adam. Thank you, Adam.
Yep. No, I like it. All right, favourite moment for the year?
Favourite moment of the year? It would be the Alpine double podium. Is my favourite moment of the year.
It was a beauty,
just
wasn't it?
Awesome. Feel good. Loved it, yeah.
Sam?
Oh. Stroll in the sandpit. No, sorry. Oh. Sorry. So I had to say Stroll in the sandpit. Favourite moment? Surely just has to be Oscar actually landing the win at Baku. Because, the Hungary thing... just left that little bit of a bitter taste in the mouth. And Paige and I got the Dr. Auto Art, thanks Dr. Auto Art for making the Oscar's first win in Hungary artwork. But I really wish Dr. Auto Art did an artwork for the win in Baku, because that to me felt like the first win. Controlled it, had it done.
I think it did for lots. Yep.
Yeah.
I think it did for lots. For me, my favourite moment throughout the year was the close battles and the comings together.
Sure. Yeah.
I think this season was nice and close, and this year we saw the coming together of Hamilton and Max in Hungary.
Yeah.
For a decent position. It's not like it's a back marker. We saw Max throw it down the inside in that moment. Didn't quite pay off, but it was back to some proper racing.
Yep.
We saw Sainz and Perez at Baku.
Yep.
Once again, hard, tight racing.
Yep.
We saw Norris and Max come together in Mexico. Once again, hard racing. There was some cutting of corners. Yep. That was the race. Remember when Max got a 10-second penalty and he's like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And then moments later he gets another 10-second penalty
exactly right.
for track limits. And then I think there was one more. There was one more. What am I missing? Oh, and then... Did I say the Austrian one? I think, yeah. Then they come together in Austria as well. So, yeah, it was just I liked it. We had some of that again, and it wasn't like it was just the two drivers, Hamilton and Max, going at it, and they are the only ones crashing into each other. We saw it for a lot of the front runners where it was good, close racing, and so my moment was probably more than one moment, but it's just seeing that coming back into Formula One. It just felt like we were back to proper racing again this year in lots of moments. Biggest winners and losers. This was one that went out to the socials. Tristan, what have we got on the socials?
The biggest winners and losers here. What have we got here? We've got Sam's here. Sam, who's your biggest winner and loser? Go through your own. I have to read it for you.
Yeah, all right. Not a problem at all. Winners, Piastri, validation for finally switching to McLaren after being in Alpine for so long.
Yep.
Such a good move. Leclerc, Monaco and Monza. As I said, that's what fairy tales are written about. Gasly for starting in a slow tractor, and then, holy heck, what the hell did he do in the end of the year? Already covered in part one, didn't have a great start. Ocon had him on the jump. But then to bring it all back and to pretty much dredge Alpine from, ninth all the way up to 6th.
Yep.
Holy crap. And then Hulkenberg,
cool.
What a super team, mate.
I like that. Let's go to Dean. Dean's winners, he's got Leclerc, Hulk, Sainz, they're all his winners. Some of his losers was Perez, Stroll, and Lawson. really sort of talked about not doing anything that Dan wouldn't have done with that, and Nat Pollard jumped on that one too. Simon Blackburn, a couple of his winners, McLaren for Constructors title, Haas, Max and Ferrari, some of his losers, Red Bull in general, Stroll, Alpine for the losers. That shocks me, that one, and Williams. Nat Pollard's winners were Max, McLaren, Aston, losers were Red Bull, RB, Sauber and Stewart's and race director inconsistencies. Who's your... Give me a number one winner for the year, in general.
We don't talk about teams much.
Yep.
We do in general, but not as the overall team. And for me, McLaren winning the World Championship, the Constructors' Championship, I don't think you can go past that. You think about where they've been as a team, and probably since this podcast has been running, they've been the team that used to be good.
Yeah.
And finally, they're back to winning the Constructors' title.
Yeah.
I'm not sure enough has been made of that accomplishment.
That's
fair. It's huge. Huge. So they're my biggest winner.
My big winners would be, I think, just fans in general are the big winners of this year. Like the closeness of all the racing and everything. I think we've been really treated to that in general. I think Ferrari have been the big winners, even though they didn't really win anything.
They didn't win anything.
I think they're on the cusp of. It's the closest,
Ferrari, though, isn't
closest they've ever been. And
how many times have we gone into a season going, Ferrari's a team to watch, they're the ones?
I think Fred Vasseur's the big winner of the year and what he's done.
Hang on, you told me to give one, and then you go and list a bunch.
I just asked for one.
No rules on the podcast,
There's no rules
Roger.
on the... You do whatever you want. You said that off it before we started.
First rule.
That's what you said. I'm
taking it.
told
me to give you one. And then you go and name
because I've got a lot. I didn't want to hear about yours.
Give me one.
Haas dumping.
You're not Sam.
Haas dumping Gunther Steiner is a big win. That's a big win. That's a big win. You know what the big loser is?
Huge call.
You know what the big loser is?
That'd be one.
2026 regs, because we don't need them.
Yeah,
we don't need them.
I know where you're coming from.
We don't need them.
But would we have gotten Cadillac then?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I know where you're coming from.
Do I want Cadillac or do I want another year of fabulous racing? I want another year of fabulous racing. We're so close.
I think they've
all together.
From what I can tell and what the teams are talking about.
Just hope not.
No, well, I think they feel like they've nailed these ones a little bit more, where they're not changing the world.
Hopefully,
but they're changing enough to keep the sport updated.
Yeah.
And nice. I'm with you, because it's been on everyone's minds, I think, is that we want to see as much as possible.
Yeah, and then we get there and then we new regs. Yeah. And
remember when we were desperate for new regs and they couldn't bring them out because people kept on arguing about them?
That's because all we kept doing, anyway.
Yep.
There you go.
Yep. Sam?
So single dart on the board for a winner?
Yep.
Going Piastri.
Good.
Come on.
Winner.
You go back to the alternate timeline where he did stick with Alpine, he stuck it out, or as Tristan said in the first part, Joe didn't buy out.
Yeah.
Holy crap, we'd be looking at a weird alternate history right now. And who would have been there alongside Norris to get the McLaren Constructors since 1998? Who is there standing next to Norris? And it's probably not an Australian. Would Ricciardo have honestly lasted that long at McLaren? No.
Well, it's hard to say because the McLaren's so different compared to what it was then. But, I'm with you. It was a good one. Who's your big loser?
I've got listed Bottas, victim of circumstance, Perez. Where do you want me to start the musical number, Roger? 5, 6, 7, 8. Albon, just being a lone survivor in a desolate team. And then Stroll, because sandpit. I probably just have to say Perez.
Perez is probably the right answer.
What was, not... He didn't... he got 8th in the Drivers' Championship, and that speaks for something. But you're 8th behind teams you should be phenomenally beating, seeing as the guy that came in first is your teammate. He didn't technically lose, but if you have to say a loser of the year, what the hell did he do wrong? He just never did anything right, and that's the problem.
For me, my winner's McLaren. For me, the big loser's Sainz.
Yeah, okay.
You've had a year, it was a good year.
It's great.
And you're going from Ferrari and you're going to Williams. And that's, no matter how you look at it. I mean, you could be leaving the sport in general. You just hope that James Vowles, 2026, can turn something, which is, he's outwardly said over and over that their sole focus is 26. They'll make sure they're going as fast as they possibly can in 25, but 26 is where all his focus needs to be and has to be. And so, yeah, you just hope for Sainz's sake that he can make that work and make it all happen. But yeah, like going from Ferrari at pretty much the top of your game.
But does that make him a loser, or does that just mean he lost?
Yeah, well,
like a loser is just somebody that.
Yeah. What's the difference?
Like you can lose a game, but you can play fairly. But then you can just be an absolute loser, like
as in a put down.
Yeah, like you've gone 31-0, like you're the guy on the nil.
I think he's the big loser in terms of what he's lost.
Yes.
Yep. But yeah, so anyway, yeah, for me that's him. Your team of the year.
Team of the year. Jeez, it's a flip of a coin. Really, for me, between Haas and Alpine, it really is. Because
team of the year.
Yeah, team of the year. Because
that's a little bit left field. Haas doesn't surprise me. Tell me more about Alpine.
Just again, like a second and a half off the pace, dead last by a mile, and then have just recovered. Like I know McLaren recovered, but they didn't recover from that far back from the field. Like we were sitting here in round one, going pointless season, dead last every round, nowhere to be seen. And they have recovered in a car that was literally a full remake that nobody understood, and they've managed to come away from the year with a lot.
I haven't said at the beginning of the year,
so yeah.
Like absolutely. I wasn't going to give Alpine the other day at any point until they could actually get a point, because I thought they're just going to lose and lose and lose and lose.
That's it. That's all they did. Yeah.
But then they actually got points on the board.
Yeah, and Haas. I mean, like who would have thought? Like Haas, like yeah. We said, like, we said at the end of 23, get serious. Like, stop stuffing around. And they did. They got rid of Gunther Steiner. And then suddenly, we're dead serious, and we're looking good, and they're a fun team to watch. So, yeah, that's my...
Adam Hughes says he has to say Ferrari.
Yep.
In it till the end, could have easily taken out the World Constructors' Championship.
Yep.
Shane Freya says Sauber, because they're the most consistent team all year.
Thanks, Shane.
Nat wants to say McLaren, but favourite team, their messy papaya rules just were a debacle, and so she couldn't give it to them, so she went with Ferrari and Fred Vasseur. And Dean Holt wants to say McLaren as well. Yes, they had lots of mistakes, but hey, they got it done. And yeah, remember he mentions Honda in his comment. Remember Honda? That was the demise, wasn't it?
Yeah.
They've come from such a long way. Sam, who's your team of the year?
Put down the contenders of Haas and McLaren, but gave it to Ferrari in the end. Like, just look at them though. They had the fantastical wins of the year. Sainz in Australia, Leclerc in Monaco and Monza.
There were some big wins in there, wasn't there?
But like
between Sainz and Leclerc, they had some ripping wins.
But like, what is the letdown? The letdown is maybe a team order, but every team can bungle that every so often. Otherwise, they would have won the constructors at times. I know 2020 hindsight, but to me, Ferrari just has to be that team of the year where previous years, ever since the cheating engines, getting past the fuel flow regulations, to now actually be a serious contender and one to watch in 2025, you have to say that's a team of the year.
Yeah,
and what do they do in 2025?
It's such a Ferrari comment, though, isn't it? Because we're giving points to Ferrari because they did pretty good.
Am I really going
to... what are they going to do next year? Well, no. We hear that about Ferrari all the time. Well, they're the team that's going to be going, look, keep your eye on Ferrari, keep your eye on Ferrari. I reckon we say that every year. We expect Ferrari to come good. You can't give your team of the year to Ferrari for what they might achieve next year.
Yeah, but to bunt your fast bowls, like essentially what did Red Bull honestly do aside from give Max the Drivers' Championship?
Couldn't agree more.
McLaren papaya rules and just how messy some things were. And
jeez, they got the job done, though.
They got the job done. They got the constructors and everything like that. But, you know, then do we honestly think that McLaren are going to be on the up and up and they're going to get both the constructors and the world drivers next year? That's me bunting your fastball.
Yeah, but you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to worry about next year. We're talking about 24.
Yeah.
And that's the one. But anyway, each to their own. For me, like it feels like we're always talking about what's Ferrari going to do next year. well, Ferrari has to actually do that big thing. The big thing with Ferrari, like, they came good. They were fantastic. But they took too long to come good. But anyway, it'll be an interesting one. I mean, Red Bull, they got the job done in the end, didn't they?
They did, yeah.
Man, that politics around that team.
Oh, yeah.
For me, like, I'm with you on Haas. I think they had a great year. But I can't go fast. McLaren, it's a fairly obvious answer, but yeah, McLaren for me. Who was your personal driver of the year?
Personal driver of the year.
Do I go through the comments first?
Personal driver of the year.
Driver of the year comments. Let's go to Paige says Lando, but other options are Oscar because he's a McLaren driver and Aussie. Nico Hulkenberg because he gets an honourable mention for bringing that house out of nowhere and just being consistent. Nat Pollard wants to give it to Charles Leclerc for being incredibly consistent all season, 0% drama, great leader and role model. Dean Holt. Dean Holt is giving it to Leclerc first, Norris second, Verstappen third. Royce Peters with Max for driver of the year. Corey Chow. Don't know who the heck you are, mate, but welcome to the podcast. Corey Chow says Max. And then, of course, Adam Hughes with the Aussie, Oscar. And Paul Cook doesn't want to make the call. He says Lando, Gasly, or Charles. So those are your contenders, gentlemen.
Okay.
Thoughts?
Yeah, I don't mind those.
Can you possibly go past Max?
No, you can't.
I mean,
you really
the
can't.
The thing for Max is he started the season and banked points while they were the best team.
Yeah.
And they were the best team at the start of the year. He banked all those points. And then, for me, throughout the rest of the season, he seemed to make the most of a car that wasn't necessarily the fastest.
No, true.
But lo and behold, look, Max is still winning, or Max is still coming second, or Max is still coming third. He's still bringing home a bunch of points. And for everybody else, if they weren't on their game, they were dropping too many points here and there.
Yeah.
And so I think he was the most consistent. Yes, he had the fastest machinery at the start of the year. I actually think he had nearly the fastest machinery towards the end of the year. They seem to work out their issues. I wouldn't be writing Red Bull off next year like some people are. But yeah, I think Max is just, you can't go past it. It was a hard-fought win. I don't know if I would have given it to him last year.
No.
But this year, I think he's
and I mean, like, he come in, nearly 60 points to the good winning by the end of it anyway, which is a lot. That's like 3 race wins almost.
With a race win that we'll be talking about for a long,
absolutely,
long time.
Absolutely. Yep. So, yeah, no, I agree with you. I think Verstappen too.
Does anyone disagree with Verstappen?
No.
I'm the reserve driver here.
I like it. Go on.
I'm a reserve driver. And in the comments, I did say Max, but upon further reflection, Gasly's a pretty solid candidate. Like, to not cost your team a single crash.
Allegedly.
And you're like, well, that's also true.
Allegedly.
Like, come on. Third place in F1.5, and doing reasonably well in the People's Championship. If we're going to say anything other than Max, and Max is the obvious choice, but if you're going to slot one into second, as like the F1.5...
Hulkenberg.
Yeah, Hulkenberg's also a good one. F1.5 for this sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like, I'd say Gasly or Hulkenberg, you know?
Gasly's very left field. I mean, he only raced for half a season.
I'm the reserve driver here. I'm already...
Well, you're all about dropping in and when it's all happening. Yeah.
I think our Sainz is a good honourable mention because, as we said earlier...
I desperately wanted to say Sainz.
Season could have gone in any direction, and we wouldn't have been angry either way.
Yeah.
And then, to bank wins, to bank podiums, to just...
Geez, we've had a good year.
Just to hold himself in the stead that he did when he had every right not to.
To have Leclerc, Sainz, Piastri. How many Norris win in the end?
2, I think.
2, yeah.
2, yeah.
2.
George had 2.
And Hamilton won 1. It's been a ripping season, hasn't
absolutely.
it? Hamilton won 2.
2, was it? What was the other one?
The Belgian disqualification for Russell.
Oh, yes, that's true. That's true.
Yep.
Very true. It has been a ripping year. Let's keep on moving. Fantasy. So I touched base with Dr. Auto Art, Chris from Dr. Auto Art, who is our sponsor of our fantasy league. And I wanted to just check in and say, hey, have the winners been in contact? And he said only one. This person is very good at contacting him.
Because I win.
Because this person is a winner. Roman Merrick has won, and we weren't even aware of this. How were we not aware of this?
As we said, because we shut up shop once we finished, because we're not good.
That's right.
You're a little bit less not good than me.
And but anyway, so Roman Merrick has won the last 3, and his wife's come in the top 3 in the past as well. So anyway, he's been in contact. He's still trying to decide what he adds to his collection. I want to see Roman. Please send us a message. I want to see the collection because I am really intrigued now. Because I'd love to get some more on my wall. So anyway,
look at that. Lewis has arrived at Ferrari officially.
Officially, there it is.
There it is.
That's a cool photo.
He is officially at Ferrari. Jump on Instagram. Lewis has arrived at Ferrari.
So anyway, if you came second or third, please get in contact with Chris at Dr. Auto Art because you'll be able to go and get some of that wonderful.
Who are the second and third, Roger?
I
call them out.
Let me see if I can still open it. Sometimes you can't get in there later on. If you were going to be choosing a piece from this year, Tristan, what would you choose?
A piece
from Chris.
From Chris.
What would you choose?
Oh, jeez.
We've talked. I love that Hamilton piece.
I think the Lewis one. It would have to be the Lewis.
And it came just after we had that chat with him, where he's looking for ideas, and that's all I was watching for. And then all of a sudden, this one popped up, and I was like, yes, that's got to be the one. That's going to be such a good one. And it was. Chris made it wonderful. Sam, you've got a couple of pieces.
Yeah, I do.
What have you got? Tell me about what you've got again.
The Lando 2021. I think it was his first podium or whatever it is that I got for Paige, being a Lando fan. I actually commissioned him to paint a piece for Seb Vettel, so you can still look at it on his stall. You scroll all the way down to the bottom, and it was a 1 of 1. So Seb Vettel in the Aston Martin, and we chose the car, we chose the helmet, what was going to go onto it.
I have actually seen a picture of this. I haven't seen it for real life, though.
Yeah, I know. But doing commission work with Dr. Auto Art is really good. Like, if you ever thought about, I want to own fine art, and you just think that actual fine art is for wankers, but you just want to have Dr. Auto Art, and you think, I want to have a 1 of 1 on my wall. Seriously deal with this guy. Like, it was great dealing with Chris. And then, alluding to your question, because for this year, I was sort of stuck a bit for, what do I get Paige for Christmas? Got her the Oscar Piastri from Hungary win. Would I've preferred the Baku
what
piece?
Was the so with that one? Was it a finger in the air by memory, or was he looking down at the car? I can't actually remember. I did see it come out.
Messages,
it might be actually. Yeah, that's true. That'd be so many good ones.
Memories.
And also, if you're in the market for helmets, this is where Chris comes alive. If I was a kart driver, a racing driver, oh god, I'd be all over
Roger, your next mountain bike helmet to team up.
Imagine.
You could do mountain bike helmets, couldn't you?
I don't know if he'd want to do mountain bike helmets the way we go through them, but so Roman was actually second place. He was the second placer. Yeah. So Lauriz van der Veer, he was our winner, and then we've also got Fariz
Hafiz?
Yeah. So if you're one of those people, please get in contact because Chris is waiting for your order and to have a chat about what you want.
Great guy to have a chat with. Just saying.
Absolutely. Yep. I look forward to working with him in the future too. Hopefully, because he's always a good conversation, isn't he? I'm fascinated by creative people like that when I'm not creative at all. Right, let's talk some news. Let's talk some news. We found out that Spa has gone to an extended contract, but then they're in 2028, is it? And 2030, they're off the calendar altogether. So they're going to go on a 1 year on, 1 year off basis. Tristan, thoughts?
I hate everything about it. Everything about it.
Tell me more.
Because it shouldn't happen.
It
shouldn't happen.
This
is the simplest explanation. It is Spa. It is one of, if not the most historic racetracks in our calendar. It is not deserving of an in-out spot, man, oh man, you better replace it with something good. And I mean something real good. Something that will become a historic track, because you cannot do that. You would never turn Monaco into an in-and-out. You would never turn Monza into an in-and-out. You would never turn Silverstone into an in-and-out. You would never turn Brazil into an in-and-out. Could I happily have a couple of years off Qatar? Yes. Can I have a couple of years off Abu Dhabi? Yes.
Azerbaijan.
Can I have a couple of years off Azerbaijan? Yes.
So
Vegas? Yes.
Melbourne?
No.
we got first back.
Circuit of the Americas? No. I really like Circuit of the Americas. You can't go to Suzuka and have a year on, year out. Could I take a year off Singapore? Yeah, I'd be upset, but I'd be all right with it. But I'm not all right with it, and you can't do it, and it's not okay.
I think there's 5 untouchables.
And you better replace it with the greatest circuit that has ever been created in the history of just life in general, because it's wrong. It's just so wrong.
Can I fire 3 at you for Grade 1 FIA? You say yes or no?
Okay. Whether or
as
not,
a replacement,
like as a replacement, or that I'm allowed to do it, or
Hockenheim.
Can I replace it?
No. Like if it's in the spot, are you accepting it?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah,
no. Sam's saying, are you okay with it being the replacement for Spa that year?
Yeah, no.
Nürburgring, not the Nürburgring.
No,
but Nürburg GP.
No.
Kyle Army.
No.
We finally get the sixth continent.
No.
So what's the replacement?
Nothing. That's what I'm saying. Nothing replaces it.
I think there's 5
Spa's
untouchables
on the track,
but I
every
think
year.
Spa is probably
it stays.
Is it Spa's the 5th,
3rd or 4th?
State.
I think it's the 3rd or 4th most important race on our calendar.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sure.
But that's what I'm saying. It stays.
Monaco, because it is the jewel in Formula 1.
You just have to.
You have to.
Yeah.
And everyone else shut up about it.
Yeah, that's fine.
Agreed.
You can hate it, but it has to stay.
Monza.
Yes.
Agreed.
Has to stay.
Italian Heart.
Silverstone.
Yes, has
British
to stay.
Heart.
Spa.
Yes.
Is there anything more important?
The longest track, the most technically difficult, Canal Straight.
Is there another more important race in our calendar
than Spa?
Than Spa, like 4th most important.
4th most important.
I mean,
Brazil.
Monza's been in trouble. Brazil. Yeah,
Brazil.
I'll give Brazil probably
Suzuka.
Close.
Yeah,
Suzuka make compelling arguments.
Yeah, I think they're the next most important.
Yeah,
after Spa,
but you can't reply. But the others, reply, and they're terrific options. Give me a year off Vegas for Nürburgring. Oh yeah, tick.
Couldn't agree more.
Give me a year off Abu Dhabi.
You gave me, and other people gave me a hard time about bringing this subject up earlier this year, because I said all these races that they're bringing in, there's going to be some consequences for some other racetracks.
Yeah, it's just the wrong consequence.
And this idea of race on, race off, I love this idea, because you can have too much of certain places, but you can bring them back every now and then on a rotational basis. But that you leave our top 5 or 6 races.
You don't touch them.
Leave them be,
100%.
because they are important to Formula 1.
The heart of Formula 1, the heart of history, the heart of racing.
Absolutely.
The tracks that arguably the most amount of action happens at, well, except for Monaco, sorry, but that's historic. Leave it that be.
Yep.
Don't get in the comments. But yeah, you have to leave the heart of racing as it is.
I couldn't agree more. Yeah. So it's a I mean,
so long, Miami.
I also hated the idea that they tried to celebrate it as a contract extension.
Yeah, no.
I was like, that was just the typical
F1 thing to do.
Yeah, let's celebrate what we've been able to achieve here.
Yeah.
It's just do you think all the fans are dipshits?
A backhanded compliment?
Yeah, it's just the most horrible thing to try and do to Formula 1 fans.
Yep.
Because everyone was onto it straight away. What on earth are you doing? And it was just, I don't know. Those sorts of things really, really upset me. Let's talk Max. Potentially, the rumour is that he's been offered $1 billion to race for Aston Martin. Sponsors been told.
False.
Now, believe it or not,
yep.
I'm not too stressed about it. Do you think that Max will be an Aston Martin driver in the near future?
No, he couldn't be. He could. Max Verstappen can drive whatever he wants.
You don't have to Yes, the sky is up. Some thoughts on it? Talk to me about it.
Yeah, I like it because he's got the history with Newey. He knows how he works. He knows how his driver operates. You've got incredibly supportive person in Lawrence Stroll. You've got state-of-the-art facilities. You've got a team that is unashamedly wanting to be world champions
and doing everything
possible,
including
in its power
building
to
whole new facilities.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah.
Employing the best possible people.
It's a great decision. It's a great call to go and do it.
Previous workings with Honda.
Absolutely. Go and do it. Yeah.
Yeah. And for me, I mean, we generally love a change of team, particularly if you've won a bunch. So for me, like we've said in the past, if you want to be known as one of the best, go and do it somewhere else as well.
Yeah.
So the Hamilton thing just intrigues me. I think I worry Hamilton's left it a little late. I feel like Leclerc might be the man that might be upsetting him, but he might prove me wrong. But I'm so excited to see what Max could do in another car. Now, Aston Martin at the moment don't look like they're contenders.
No.
However, with everything in place, they absolutely should be in 26,
they've got all the tools.
27, 28. And Max is certainly young enough to make that happen. And so, it excites me a great deal to think about that happening. Sam, thoughts? You're an Aston Martin man.
Absolutely an Aston Martin man. Just Max now becoming a family man and everything like that. Would be nice if he could settle down a bit more in Britain and everything like that to sort of... every Formula 1 driver lives in Monaco, but if you're going to have a second home, there's 7, 8 manufacturers that are all going to be in Britain.
Absolutely.
This is going to be a lot easier for him as a family man. And, what better way that, for your son, you prove that you can achieve anything to rise from the ashes to bring Aston Martin, the Stroll and Sandpit team, and then 2-3 years later, whatever it's going to be, to win a drivers and a constructors. I'm all for it. I just want to see the official news be released.
Oh, absolutely. And that will not be released.
The only concern is Rosberg Hamilton 2.0. That's my only stipulation and concern about the whole
matter. Sounds fantastic. Oh, God, it sounds good. I'm frothing at the idea. I mean, could you imagine... we've seen what's happened to Stroll against other teammates, Alonso and co. Can you imagine what Max would do with him? He would... it'd be embarrassing.
Yep.
I'm not sure Max has got... Alonso's been very diplomatic about it all too. Talking up Stroll and talking about how great things are with Stroll and what he brings to the team. I'm not sure Max can be bothered with that.
No.
But it would be the first time that Alonso would say, I am alongside a great driver. It's the first time Alonso wouldn't lie.
I'm not sure he'd say that.
No.
I don't think I can hear it coming out of his mouth, but God, it'd be good watching.
Yep.
So, that'd be the other element. I've been on this for a long time that this is what's going to happen, and it'd be a rookie error for Aston Martin to be selling this too far afield, but you can understand why they would be. Look, jump on board. We've got Max coming. If you're going to get on board, now's the time, and it's just a selling point, isn't it? But it's an interesting one. It is an interesting one. So many implications around that second driver. I don't think it'll, for what it's worth, I don't even know if it'll be Alonso or Stroll. It might be somebody else.
It could very well be.
I wonder whether the Colapinto move isn't necessarily all directed at Doohan. I wonder if they're somewhat worried about losing Gasly.
Maybe.
In the future. But anyway.
You never know.
Yeah. Any other news that you want to talk about?
A little bit of leakage on the Alpine livery. If you saw on Instagram, that Flav was putting up a photo and video of the teams meeting, and then on the desk he's littered 4 or 5 images of what the livery could potentially look like. Okay. Just super fluorescent pink and the other half blue. A mix of the two of them.
I think I saw some Mercedes team kit.
A little bit of stuff like that, and we love livery launch. So anyway, we're only a couple of months away from the F1 Live at the O2,
which is going to be all the liveries.
See everyone, which is all the liveries, which I love. I think.
Do you think this is good?
I do. I remember it was a couple of years ago now. We were talking about this. Because WEC do this, where you just go to season launch and bang,
and so many teams,
and there's everyone.
So many teams mess this up.
Yeah, and you're like, wow. Some of them suck, But yeah, just to do it all in one big hit and just go bang, there they are. I love it as an event.
Are you going to miss the drawn-out nature of
it
all?
Because I think it'll be good just to go bang.
This is nearly your favourite time of the year.
It is my favourite
You'll be like, what time do you think it's coming out?
I know.
Have you seen anything?
And I love my little hints.
There's splashes of pink on their social media.
I don't have to do that. It's just all going to be bang in one hit.
Well, I think we'll get it in the lead up, though.
Well, I think Ferrari are going early and Williams are going early as well, too, with their liveries.
What do you mean?
They're going a couple of days early before the official launch. That was the rumour that I saw.
Well, actually, yeah, because they've typically been
Valentine's Day. So the
rumour
is the
launch is the 18th, isn't it?
Yes. So I think the rumour is they're going a couple of days early with that, and they're going cars as well, possibly. Like it's going to be the actual chassis ready to go, whereas like Red Bull. But again, that's only rumours that I've seen and read about. But you never know. But I think we will get both of those liveries nice and early. I've read reports that the Ferrari's gone back to the very dark red, like that 1000th GP or 100th GP era thing. It's going to
that deep.
I don't know how I feel about that because I really like the red we have now. But anyway, whatever. I don't care.
They managed to make all the reds look really cool.
They do. I think this is my favourite one. This one here too.
I agree. The one now, but I quite like the lighter one.
Yeah.
In like the Schumacher days.
Yeah, no.
But I really love that deeper one.
I like this one. Anyway,
my opinion, the only thing they ever did wrong was that neon lime green Mission Winnow logo.
Yeah,
that's the only thing that's ever made a Ferrari red.
But
shit.
It's memorable though, isn't it?
All the times that they've told Tristan they're going to have a special livery and they don't.
That's
my favourite thing about them.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Any other news?
No, that's sort of it. We touched on the doing a few races, but to be seen.
Sam, anything else?
Just looking forward to the Lego release, the official Lego release of Nigel Mansell's Williams. So pretty eager to get that whenever it comes out. And this year we'll have all 10 cars from last year's grid. That's a bit of a poo-poo for me, but would be nice to have all 10 Formula 1 cars. They're all built differently. So if you're a Lego fan and you just want to own a V car because of Daniel Ricciardo and just cry over that for what would have been, you can buy a V car from last year. But I'm looking forward to a lot of the Lego releases for Formula 1. It's a good partnership. So
okay, I don't get crazy excited. I saw they had like McLaren boards that you'd hang your Lego on and then hang it to the wall.
Yep, those things.
I was like, that's actually quite cool. Yeah. Okay, interesting. Yep. What are you most looking forward to next year? Let's just simmer on some stuff. This season. Next season. It's not there yet, but yes. What are you most looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to Australia going back.
I was going to starting in Australia.
One,
it's on my list.
It's just where it lives.
It's on my list.
It's just where it lives. I think it's just that. It's back home at round one.
Yeah, I was about to say top priority has to be Australia.
Are you going to be there this year? Have you got tickets this time?
No.
Oh, 2 years in a row. Did you make it last year?
No, because pricing got a fair bit too high.
Yeah.
Plus, they sold out like nothing else. Like
it's become a problem. It's become a problem. I know many people that were on the waiting list and just never got there.
This will be the biggest Australian Grand Prix of all time.
Do you think?
Yeah, Lewis's first race in Ferrari. This will be.
It'll be huge,
and we get to see it first. This will be the greatest and biggest attendance of all time. We will break all records.
The hype around the man is
all
going to be
records.
Huge,
well, as I said, he's landed
only
half an hour ago.
A few colleagues at work were asking me, is it good to have $300 general admission for all 4 days? And I said yes, because you get F3, F2, of course F1, like your general admission, but you're going to be there when Lewis Hamilton may or may not cross the finish line first. May or may not, sure.
It's true.
But
it's very true.
$300 for 4 days? Giddy up, let's go.
It's still, it's I think it's 4 days, isn't it? I think
4 days.
4 days, yeah.
Easier for Thursday as well.
You do get lots of time for it, but geez, it is expensive for some people. For me, I'm really looking forward to watching this 4-way battle. I'm intrigued to see where it goes. We mightn't get 4. We mightn't get 4. We might only have 3. Might have 2. I can't imagine one team's running away with it this year, but you never know. With the 2026 lingering in the distance, you might actually see that a little bit. There'll be a certain time where teams are planning and hoping that they can cut their focus on 25, and that's going to open up different scenarios for different teams. So, it'll be an interesting one. And the other one for me is just watching all these rookies. There are so many rookies this year. it's going to be a watch.
I'm watching the merchandise at the moment, and I'm watching the F1 store almost day by day.
It's cheap.
Ollie Behrman has merch.
Yeah.
You know, like his have you seen all the logos? And everyone's got like fairly mundane, like
the fascination
overdesigned
over the last month of driver logos. I don't understand. It's like fever pitch.
But Ollie Behrman, here's a bare face, badass, no overcomplicated, like trying to work your initials into the numbers or anything like that. Here's a bare face. Let's go. Like that is a good logo.
I like it. Excellent. You've brought some left fielders in for us today, Sam, and that's why we love you on here. Well done. Thank you very much, everybody. It'll be, I don't know when our next episode's going to be.
Don't know.
It'll be around probably livery time, I imagine.
It'll be around livery time, be around launch line. I mean, we're not going to promise anything because we don't.
We fail with all promises.
We don't do that. Yeah, we don't do it very well.
But it'll come around. It's just coming slowly.
We'll surprise you.
I hate this time of year.
We'll surprise you.
You'll pick up
Spotify or whatever you listen on. You'll be like, come here, there's a new episode.
Yep. But anyway, we'll see you soon. Thank you very much for sticking with us through the 2-part season review. We will be bringing on a preview very shortly.
Keep it on socials. Socials will still be active over the next few months as we get ready. So
absolutely.
Drop us a line.
Very good. Thanks, boys.
Thanks.
Adios from Reserve Driver.
And goodbye now.